Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend a little time with us today. It's a busy day as usual.
Always.
So we got a few little things we want to get done today. It's a nice, cool 50 or 60 degree morning.
It's almost cold out here this morning.
We've had some beautiful weather the last few days.
It has been. It's been perfect weather.
The first thing on the list is we've got us some new blueberry plants. Went to Tractor Supply the other night to get some feed, and they had some really beautiful blueberry plants that were hard to walk on past, wasn't they?
They was, and it's unusual for Tractor Supply to have plants this time of year because they always have them in the springtime. And y'all, right now, from now till, first part of fall or whatever, is the perfect time to be planting plants. So I thought it was kind of cool that Tractor Supply actually had plants when you need to be planting plants. When I say plants, I mean like fruit trees and the blueberry bushes, fig trees, all that kind of stuff. But these are some really nice blueberry plants. So let's go up here and grab them.
Okay.
We'll show them. And for the price, honestly, I didn't think they were that bad. Now, of course, on their fruit trees, I always think Tractor Supply is a little bit high on those. But for the size of these blueberry plants, I was tickled to death with them. So you can see these are some decent sized blueberry plants, and they were what, $14.99 a piece?
Yeah, something like that.
So we bought 4 of them, but I've seen a lot smaller plants than this sell for a lot more around here. So out here in the apple orchard, what we call Apple Valley sometimes, we've had, how many trees die now?
Probably 4 or 5.
And they've all been because of what looked like fire blight. And I don't really know what to do for that. And you have this big healthy looking tree, and then all of a sudden within a matter of a week or so, it's dead from top to bottom. So this is one of the spots here. That there's one of the spots. We actually replaced a couple with new apple trees, but the apple trees we replaced them with are not looking good either. So I imagine they've probably got the blight as well. And I'm scared that it's going to end up spreading to every single apple tree down here, and then we won't have a single tree left. But I'm not going to replace no more spots with an apple tree, because if it is fire blight, most likely the blight's there, and it'll just spread onto the new tree. So instead, we've been kind of racking our brain what we could do, and we're going to put these blueberries in here. And it'll help break up the apples anyway. So we'll have, like, instead of having a ton of apples on top of each other, we'll have like a pear, a blueberry, an apple, and then down there we've got peach. And it'll be the same way. So if anything else dies, it's something else besides apple that's going in.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm ready.
Oh yeah, that's plenty deep. Let's dump all that off in there. Do I need to break them up any? Nope. Not yet, Jacob.
It'll be interesting to see how they do over here.
Yeah, I'm interested in that myself, because
they do really good on that hill over there, but that's about the best spot we found to plant them, but we ain't never planted none in this area.
We've never had them here, so it's going to be, they're out in the full sun, where that over there tends to get some shade. So that may affect them one way or the other. It'll either hurt them or help them.
Yeah.
But
because we've tried blueberries for years in different locations, just never here, but we finally found that
they done good.
They done really good over there. So,
well,
we've bought many of blueberry plants through the years.
We have, sure enough. We've moved many blueberries.
Yeah.
But it's funny, right out the road, our neighbor's got some of the beautifulest blueberries you could ever imagine. All right, so the mulch I'm going to be using, which happens to be just what we have, is the pine mulch that we chopped up from that tree that we cut down back with that early spring.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
before we ever planted the garden.
It's full of pine needles and wood chips from the pine tree. And pine actually works good around blueberries because they like acidic stuff. Actually, over here on Berry Hill, I never really showed it, but I had several pine needle bales left over from a job we done, and I just put them really thick around the blueberry bushes, and it seemed to work pretty good over there for that.
I would help y'all, but y'all look like you got it going on, so.
Yeah, boy, we got it. We probably actually ought to drag a water hose out here and water that thing in. Hey, youngins, one of y'all.
Well, the water hose ain't gonna reach down here.
That one over there? Oh, no, it's busted. That
Oh,
one,
well, that one might though. Up here at the raised beds.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that water hose.
Let me go get it.
This blueberry needs a lot. You gotta fill the entire ring.
Right there's the next spot we're going to do. Mm-hmm. Too many shovels in this hole. From all this mulch over the years, that dirt there's nice and black looking. Okay, that's probably enough. Come on a little farther. That's good. Got it.
It's barely running as a kid.
Probably. No. There it comes. Maggie just got, she was trying to drink it and just got squirted with it. Now soak that thing in real good, Maggie.
It's so good.
I tried to keep out my water during that drought, but
Well,
it's still, I think it stressed it out and it caused it to lose all its leaves, but the buds on the ends of the branches look like they're getting ready to bust out new growth. We lost 2 blueberries over here because of the drought. So I'm gonna replace those. So this is the other tree that I'm a little bit concerned about. You see how a lot of the leaves on it have died, but then there's a lot of greener leaves too, but none of them look healthy. So I hope that it don't have that blight as well. Maybe, because this time of year, the apple trees start to look rough anyways. They always start to look kind of, well, they start to lose leaves and everything else. And with the type of summer we've had, I'm hoping that's all it is with this tree. But time will tell, because we won't really know. We won't know until it's
dies
either
or comes
completely
back.
dead or...
Yeah.
And I don't even know if there's anything you can do for that fire blight. I've investigated and looked a little bit on the internet, but I hadn't found the answer I'm looking for. Let's put it that way. All right, let's go over here and replace these other 2 blueberries, and we'll move on to the next job.
You want me to peel it?
Here.
So for those of you that may be new around here, this is what we refer to as Berry Hill. It's a pretty steep incline that goes down beside our pigs here. That looks like a jungle right now, but there's a lot of food in there.
Strawberries, blueberries, muscadines, blackberries up above that, and raspberries, all in this one location right here.
Yep. Check out our hogs over there. They ain't pigs no more.
No, they ain't. It's a nice strawberry plant that was up under there.
Was it? Oh, I see it. That's one of them big ones.
Yeah.
Are we gonna replant it?
Yeah, go replant that somewhere. Hold it by the roots. There you
Just
go.
pick a spot, any spot.
Okay.
It don't matter.
So I'm gonna plant it right here.
So we lost this blueberry here during the drought. I guess that's what happened to it because I thought we actually kept them all alive, and then
We found that one.
this one's dead.
Yeah.
Then I got one other one up there we're going to replace that has actually been dead all year.
Well, we tried to give it a chance. You talking about the one up there?
Yeah, the one that we've done moved 2 or 3 times and it's died and come back out. And
Yeah.
yeah, oh my goodness, come here. So I just raked some dirt back with my hand and look what I uncovered.
It's a heck of a night crawler,
It
ain't it?
is. Put him back in there. He's getting baked by the sun.
Look, Mama. And I replanted the strawberry that we planted.
Yep. That's a good spot.
So this particular hillside here was pretty much nothing but rock and red clay.
Well, you can see this is what it looked like.
Yeah, look over there.
Yeah.
The rocks on top of the ground, and underneath that was just red clay. And that's just, what, 2 years ago?
2 or
3
3,
years
yeah.
ago, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
We come in and put wood chips over this whole hillside, probably about that thick.
Well, we let the pigs dig it up first.
Yeah, we did that first, and they kind of cleared all the grass and everything that was on it out. And then we layered it with a deep layer of wood chips, about like that. And we've wood chipped it, what, one more time since then?
I think so, yeah.
But we're hoping to get our hands on some wood chips for this coming up winter. And once all the weeds and stuff that's in here die back, we're going to do it again and put another heavy layer of wood chips out here. But do you see any red clay there? We just dug down that deep and there was no red clay at all. So most of what's here is what we've built. And then here's the pine needle bales I was talking about. I've just got those piled up real thick around all these blueberries out here. That helps hold in the moisture. Now I did not have these out here when the drought came. And that's the main reason I went ahead and put needles out, was because I needed a really good thick mulch layer around these blueberries to try to help hold in that moisture. We've got one more up here to replace. So this one here we've had struggles with for about a year actually, maybe longer than that.
We've given it chance after chance.
Yeah, it'll start to come out and then it would die back and start to come out and die back, and I think it's finally dead now.
I think that's one of them we moved several. I think we've actually moved it several times.
I think it started out up there, then we moved it down here and it started to look better, and then I don't know what happened to it and it died, and then I moved it over here to this spot and it just never did come back out after that. Which it's not like we need all these blueberries. It's just nice to know you got them.
The kids love them.
Now there is still some pretty good clay in this hole. All that right there is just clay. But if I can remember right, I don't think we had enough wood chips to really cover over this side over here that good. Now I need to bring some mulch up here and put around that one because I don't have no mulch over here either. All in this whole area right here where it had been washing, we've lost every bit of layer of mulch that we had here. It's either decomposed or washed away. But we gotta address that situation, and that's part of the reason the weeds have come in like they have this year, because our mulch layer is getting pretty thin. I know some of y'all that's been following us for a while know that we had the strawberries out here not only to eat, but to act like a ground cover. And one thing I've learned from that is you don't want the strawberries to crowd up around the blueberry plants. You got to keep a space around these blueberries, like weed free and strawberry free, because if not, it's like maybe they compete too much with the blueberry. I don't know, but the blueberry does not do good when the strawberry is just crowded around it. Keep an area clean, about that far all the way around, and it's fine. But we've got one right up there at the edge of the lot that the strawberries just took over the blueberry, and it has no new growth or anything on it right now. So I cleaned out around it the other day. But
It's part of living and learning.
yep. There you go.
Looks good.
Now I just need to get those watered in, and that's done. These broke off of the one of the blueberries we were planting. And I'm going to attempt to root some. I've never tried rooting blueberries. I've always heard they're easy to do. Don't even know if it's the right time of year to do it. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it off fresh here, so we've got a good start. And back when I was in school, when we rooted plants, we would always shave off just a little bit of that outside layer of bark, just like that right there. And then we would dip it in some rooting hormone. I don't think it matters what kind or what brand or anything like that. I believe it's all about the same. But it's just a white powder. Kind of looks like flour. Going to dip it down in there. You want to make sure some sticks to it. And then we're going to stick it in a pot of potting soil right here. I'm going to do the other ones the same way. And then, actually, while I'm doing this, I may go down there and pick a few more. Or cut a few more. And just attempt to start me a whole bunch of blueberries. That rooting hormone stimulates the growth, because I will show you here, if I can. What we want to do is scratch off that bark and get down into the cambium layer, which is the layer right below the bark. And right against the sides where we've scraped that bark off, it will start to form new roots. And like I said, this may not work. I don't know if it's the right time of year for blueberries, but I think I'm going to actually go cut me enough to fill this whole little pot up right here. And I will set these in the shade somewhere where I can keep them, and right beside a water hose, where I can keep them misted like every day. I'll probably mist them first thing in the morning and that evening. You know, every time I think about it, I'll mist them to keep them wet. And they should root. Anyways, this is definitely not a how-to, because I've never done blueberries before, but it's something that I've actually wanted to do for quite a while, and to be honest, I kind of always forget about it. So here's going to be my shot at it. So I ended up cutting several more off of the plants we just planted. I'm going to do all of them the same way. We'll strip those bottom leaves. Scratch it up just a little bit. And dip it. Once you have established blueberry plants, you don't really have to worry about trying to root any plants, because the blueberries themselves put off like little suckers up from the ground, and you can just dig up one of those sprouts and go plant it somewhere. But our blueberries aren't quite mature enough to start having all of that growth come up from around the base of the plant. There we go. So like I said, I will set those right over here next to the water hose, and it'd be kind of shady and where they can't dry out that easy. And I'm just going to keep them misted at least twice a day, if not more. I'll make sure that soil in the pot stays really wet, and we'll kind of keep an eye on them for the next few weeks and see what happens with them.
So next thing on our list is, you know, our pepper plants have been putting off like crazy and doing wonderfully. We're just gonna get some of these picked. I'll probably chop most of these and freeze them at this point. I never got around to making my pickled banana peppers due to the circumstances. Maybe I'll do that. It won't be today, but.
Hey, have you seen this?
His bean plant?
His bean.
I know it's beautiful. Me and
It
him,
is, it's doing so good.
Me and him were looking at it.
This is the first time I've seen it, but it's actually looking really good.
I know.
Wonder if it's got time to make a bean between now and
I don't know,
frost.
that'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But I got one right here that I've been waiting to pick. Look
These
at
are
that.
bell peppers. I didn't even know we planted any colored ones.
I didn't either, but it turned yellow. That's one of the only ones big enough to pick on it though. They're coming though. They're finally loaded up with peppers.
Bell peppers are so slow for us, if they even put off at all.
See, that one was a red one. There's nothing else big enough to put on that one.
Well, look at them.
That one ain't no count. It's withered real bad. That's a pretty one.
It is. I'm gonna pick these Mad Hatters that have changed colors. Oh, that one ain't no count.
Well, I've noticed that some of these Mad Hatters, once they start changing colors, they get kind of wilty feeling.
No, that one had a hole in the bottom of it.
Did it?
Look how big this one is.
Wow.
I know.
Compared to that one, it's
Look
twice
at
the
that.
size.
I know. That's a fine looking.
I think these will
Pepper
definitely
there.
be on our list next year, but you only need one plant.
Yeah, you literally need one.
Look at
It's
this.
so prolific, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Getting
Look
one.
under there. Look under this bush here, y'all. I just raised it up and it's loaded.
No wonder it's leaned over. Oh, there's some beautiful poblanos coming though. They ain't here yet, but they're coming.
They were slow for us this year too.
Well, they got swallowed.
Yeah, I know.
I love poblanos. They're some, them and banana peppers are probably my favorite.
Well, we'll know next year that wherever we plant these, they just need a whole bed to themselves.
Yeah, by themselves. I want to show y'all what Andy got me the other day. I guess he got tired of me borrowing his pocket knife. No, I'm just picking. But we just got in the conversation talking about a knife the other day, and the reason I don't carry a pocket knife is because I can't stand stuff in my pockets. Like I just can't. I can't stand my phone in my pocket. I don't know why. Girls' britches are not made to put stuff in the pockets, is number one. But he got me this little knife here, and this little thing is come rather handy. It's got a nice belt clip on it, so I just clip it on my pocket.
It's a locking blade.
Yeah, and you just flip it out, locks into place, fits in my small hand good. It's not some big honking knife. And you got this, you found it on Amazon, didn't you?
I did. I mean,
I don't see the brand on it, but
it's not like no expensive brand knife or nothing. It was, I want to say it was either 25 or 30 bucks. One of those two.
it serves the purpose.
But it's a nice looking knife. It had really good reviews, and I thought it would be good to fit in her, smaller hands.
Right. But I like it a lot so far. I mean, we don't know how it'll hold up, but it's not heavy. So
yeah, you can't even tell it's clipped on there, can you?
Yeah, because it's not heavy at all.
And that was the other thing. It's got a really strong clip on it so that, it's not going to slide out of her pocket.
Right, so I just clip it on the side of my pocket. And there we go. I even clipped it on my sweatpants the other day, and it worked out real good.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
It held them up? I mean, they held up?
Yeah, it didn't like, it wasn't so heavy that it like tried to pull them down or
Good.
nothing. So I just wanted to show y'all that. Any of y'all ladies that would like a decent knife.
Yeah, and this ain't no sponsored thing or nothing. I actually went on Amazon, found it, and bought it, you know, with my own money, and found out we like it. So
Yeah. I just wanted to show y'all.
yeah, and so, but if anybody's interested in one, we'll put a link down in the description, and y'all can check it out. But so far, we really like that little knife.
Yep.
A knife is the best thing a person can carry, because guys, in my pocket, I can't leave the house without those three things right there. With some Swiss Army knife, a pair of Nip-X pliers. That's one of the smallest Nip-X pliers they make, and those things right there are amazing. They grip so well. And then just a small crescent wrench. We'll put a link to the description of those in there too, in case any guys is wanting to tote some stuff in his pocket.
Yep.
But no joke, y'all. I have fixed so many things with those three items right there that there's no way I'll leave the house without them.
The weird thing is my habaneros this year are not as hot as them jalapenos. Them jalapenos, I don't know what it is,
They're smoking.
but they are like, will light you on fire. And I usually love jalapenos, and I like a little heat. But my goodness, they are hot.
Smell that. Don't that smell good?
Yeah, smell like peppers.
It smells good. I love that smell.
I even tried to make jalapeno poppers one night when I did make them, and they were so hot that we couldn't. I mean, we eat one a piece, but I mean, we were sweating.
I think these Carolina Reapers over here rubbed off on the jalapenos.
I don't know. I wonder if it was that weather or.
Yeah, I've actually heard that dry weather will bring the heat out in a pepper.
Well, boy, it did in them, but it didn't bother them. Them habaneros are good. Which them jalapenos, I wasn't expecting them to be that hot. So usually with these, you know I only put like one in there. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think that the flavor
Yeah.
is what makes these what they are. So before we walk up to the house, I just happened to think, I wanted y'all to see our carrots. And I want to tell you that these carrots right here have been about as neglected as you can neglect.
Yeah.
We literally planted them, and they got rain on them that very night. And I think I've watered them once or twice since then because of the situation, everything we had going on. And there's still carrots that are just now popping up. So even with that amount of neglect, these carrots are going to be so thick that we're still going to have to thin them out.
Yep. I guess that container held in the moisture enough that they germinated.
I don't know.
That's the only thing I know, because they got neglected
I
bad.
mean, matter of fact, I need to get out here and water them now. The soil's getting a little dry.
But yeah, they look good.
They do. They really do. I am so surprised at how well they came up with no more water than what we done. You know, a lot of people show you have to put the board over the carrots to get them to come up good, or put something over them to hold in moisture until they sprout. And while all those things work, just planting seeds worked too, didn't it?
Yeah. It did this time anyway.
I mean, yeah, it may not work every time, but this time it worked.
Tonight for supper, we're going to be having sweet potato surprise delights, which I don't know what you want to call it. It's a sweet potato concoction that I made up years ago, and me and Andy love it. So I'm going to show y'all how I do that today. Some of y'all saw me make that, but I ain't made it on video in a while. And also, if you can see this here, I ended up making 6 quarts of my Kentucky Blue Wonders we picked down there when we was picking the popcorn the other day. So that ain't too bad to dig through the weeds and find 6 quarts worth of beans, so I'll be excited to try those. We're also going to have my homemade chicken pie. Super simple. It's not like a chicken pot pie or anything. It's just a regular old chicken pie, but it's easy and it's delicious. Y'all know I'm all about easy and good, so that's what we're going to do. I've got sweet potatoes already baking in my oven. We got to bake those till they're done for our sweet potato delight, surprise, whatever you want to call it. And I got to run down to the grocery store and grab a can of chicken. Told Maggie me and her's going to have to can some more. That's my last chicken with, well, the bone out chicken. But this canned chicken comes in so much handy, y'all. Like, I use it all the time. So whenever I get around to doing that, I'll be sure to show y'all that too. So for our chicken pie, we're gonna start off, we just need a regular old 9x13 pan. Now you can pre-cook your chicken and use, you know, fresh chicken for this. It's just convenient for me to use my canned chicken. I had a viewer send me this awesome little tool here. This is a jar opener. Look at that. Don't even really damage your lid. It's awesome. Pour our chicken and the broth and everything in there. You're going to want a little bit of broth in your chicken pie. Preheat your oven to about 350 degrees. Something like that. And just go ahead and put your chicken in there. Now, a quart of chicken is almost a little much for a chicken pie. It'll just be a super chicken-y chicken pie. It's all fine. I don't follow a recipe for this. It's just, man, y'all know how I am. Y'all already know. There we go. We're going to add us a little bit of milk. And no, I'm not milking candy right now, so store milk it is for today anyway. Let's hit that with a little salt and pepper. That's really all you need. Salt it pretty good though. And I really like pepper, so I throw the pepper to it. So we're just going to take us some little pieces of butter and just drop them along there. Butter makes everything better. Now for our topping, we're going to do about a cup of self-rising flour. I want y'all to check this out. A sweet viewer sent me this as well. It's a 1 cup measuring cup, but it's got a wooden handle, and inside, I want to show y'all this. I mean, I also didn't know they made measuring cups like this too. I guess I live under a rock, y'all. Maybe y'all can see. On the inside, it's like 1 cup, 3/4 of a cup, half a cup, so on and so forth. Thought that I really like this thing. At this point, we're going to act like we're making biscuits like we did with our little fried pies the other day. That's what we're going to act like here. Around a tablespoon of grease, lard, whatever you usually put in your biscuits. We're going to mix that up just like we're making biscuits. We're going to add quite a bit of milk to this though. A little at a time. So first I'm going to get it kind of like a sticky biscuit dough. Like that. But I want it to be pourable. I want to be able to pour it on top of my chicken pie. So let's add a little more milk. And this is going to give us that nice bread that's on top of chicken pie. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Just trying to get, for the most part, get you some dough in most of your chicken pie. It'll all, once it cooks, it'll all, you know, blend in together. And we're going to stick this in the oven till our bread rises and it's good and golden brown. The time on this, you know, just depends on the situation. The bread, of course, where I don't measure, never turns out exactly the same. So I'm going to say 30-ish, 45 minutes, something like that on that. You're just going to have to keep eye on it once it really gets to that 30-minute mark is really when I'd start watching it. So my sweet potatoes are done baking. They're soft. I'm just letting them sit over here and cool. So this year we grew a purple variety of sweet potatoes. I'm not really sure what the name of them is, but they're purple sweet potatoes. And we dug a few a week or so ago just to see what size they were, to see how our sweet potatoes were looking. And anyways, I thought it would be cool to have purple sweet potatoes in our little sweet potato surprise here. So what you're going to need is get you some crescent rolls. Just buy store-bought crescent rolls because I don't know how to make these things. And we're going to have a little 8x8 pan here is what you're going to need. We're going to take half of our roll of crescent dough. And we're just gonna put that in the bottom of our pan here and kind of mash the seams together. I think you can get a sheet of crescent dough. I don't know. I just buy the crescent rolls. Now I've got my sweet potatoes skinned and cut up and put over my crescent roll on the bottom. Look at these things. They are like neon purple. So now I've got me about a 1/4 cup of melted butter. I'm gonna add some brown sugar to it. And a good sprinkle of cinnamon if you like cinnamon. If you don't like cinnamon, I don't see why you couldn't just leave it out. We're just gonna put this brown sugar mixture just all around our sweet potatoes here. Sometimes I put a little white sugar in there too, sometimes I don't. Like I said, I kind of made this up. So, I mean, I guess I did. Somebody else may make something just like this. I don't know, but. All right, brown sugar mixture's on there. Let's take the rest of our crescent rolls. They're wanting to come apart. And we're just gonna lay those on top. Just like that. Kind of pinch them together a little bit. Just a little. So I'm gonna stick this in the oven till our crescent rolls are decently brown. I don't let them get like done because me and Andy kind of like them not all the way done, if that makes sense. But you can get them as done as you want them. Your potatoes is already done, so the only thing you're worried about really is that sugar melting and your crescent rolls getting cooked. So most of the time, by the time they're brown as you want them, your sugar mixture is melted anyway. So here's the final product. There's our sweet potatoes and chicken pie. It don't look too bad, does it?
No, and I'm pretty excited about this sweet potato thing, which I love it anyways, but with these purple sweet potatoes, it's the first time we've ever eaten them, isn't it?
I know.
All right, yeah, I'm pretty excited about this right here.
Well, just wait till you see them, because they're like, get that. That's for the chicken pie.
Oh, sorry. Well, go ahead and fix your chicken pie. I want to dig into this and see what it looks like.
But they're like neon purple.
Really?
They're crazy looking, yeah.
Even after they cook, you reckon they still look like that?
I don't know.
They almost turned brown looking now.
I got all
Check that out.
Yeah, it's wild looking.
They smell just like sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. I guess it's just the color. It kind of throws you off. Oh man, this chicken pie looks really good.
Thank you. I made it almost too runny. Can never get it just right. On occasion I get it.
Yeah,
But
that's fine with me.
it would probably help if I actually figured out what the measurements were when I do it right.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. You think you'll have a different taste?
I don't know.
I mean, the purple Irish potatoes we planted at one time didn't really.
They taste like potatoes.
Yeah, it was just more or less just looking at them.
Yeah.
They
That
were
threw you
different.
off, yeah. But yeah, not a bad looking supper. My chicken pie is a little runnier than I would like for it to be. That was on me. But sometimes it's too thick, sometimes it's too runny, sometimes it's just right. It's just how it goes.
Yeah. We'll let y'all know in just a minute what we thought of the purple potatoes.
That's right.
So we come up here to check our watermelons. And by the way, those purple sweet potatoes were good, weren't they?
Yeah, they were really good. I mean, it tasted like a sweet potato.
They really did. I don't think we'd let them cure quite long enough yet, which we knew that.
Because we just dug them up. Yeah,
they were just dug. But they were really good. But anyways, we checked our watermelons, and we, to our surprise, had way more than we thought we were going to.
Yeah, because, well, if y'all remember, y'all been following us all summer, these plants like to have died. We got a few here and there we've been eating on this summer, not much, and we were hoping they would make more after it started raining again, and, well, they did.
They did. So our watermelons were in this weedy jungle mess right here. So we had to kick around through the weeds. Over there is where our potatoes was, and that's my sunflowers and the buckwheat that we had planted. Buckwheat's done its thing. Sunflowers are just starting to bloom. But anyways, look at what we found. Watch your feet, honey.
I'd say it's at least probably 15 or 20 of them.
There's several, and most of them are good size. You know, we got which little sugar babies are little anyways. But we got that one. That's a smaller one. And then right here. And if we're not mistaken, I think that is a yellow one. Anyways, while we're up here, we thought it would be a good time to go over here and show y'all a quick glimpse of the field corn and give you a good update on that.
Yep. So last but not least, we've come across the road to the field corn. We ain't been over here in a while in a video, so we wanted to kind of show y'all how it's looking. And Andy's been occasionally picking an ear or two. And
I'm very excited about what I've found so far.
I know.
I'm going to say one more thing, though. If y'all hear me start sneezing,
it's full of ragweed.
It's full of ragweed, and ragweed is the only plant that gets my allergies just tore up. So we may have a sneeze fest here going on in a minute. That ear right there, look at how that's opened up.
I see that.
And I wish we could get that out of it. Yeah, I mean, that's really not nothing to brag about there. This looks like a decent ear. There's a lot laying on the ground. We might all just go ahead and pick that. Yeah, that one don't look that good either. Well, I tell y'all, I swear I've picked some really nice ears out of here. Now here I am.
That ain't bad though.
Find a mess. It didn't get pollinated very good, but that was during that dry spell.
Yeah.
So it's what we always call dry weather corn right there. So right now we're standing in a section that was replanted. This was planted late, was it May? Late May?
I think so, something like that.
And the ears on this corn, I'm not going to pick it yet because it ain't fully made. Of course, we didn't get that good a stand of corn in here, but what corn we got, the ears that are on this, where the dry spell never really affected them, look so much better than what was planted.
They had to go through that drought and everything.
Yeah, a month earlier. Golly at the weeds. Look at the weeds in here.
You're going to get in here and get a snake bit.
Right here looks like a good ear. Let's see what we got. I bet this is a red one. It's a fat. Oh, it's a white ear. Look at that. Now, look at that. Ain't that cool? Look at the coloring on that.
That's a heck of an ear of corn right there.
Y'all, at the base of that thing, I can't even reach my hand around it. Now, if the whole field was like that right there, we'd have something. That is nice. Now, it got a little bug damage up at the top, but that's okay.
That's what you're looking for, right?
That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's what I've been breeding for, was to get multi-rows of corn, because with the Hickory King corn, you only have 8 rows of corn, sometimes 10. I wanted the length of the Hickory King, but multiple rows of corn, and so we put the Jimmy Red and the Hickory King together, and they've been cross-pollinating for a couple of years now. And that's the first time we've ever had an ear that looked like that.
That's nice. I mean, I don't think the camera does it justice how big around that thing is.
Really?
No. Sound like it's getting to you.
It is. I'm starting to get stopped up. We're going to have to get out of here. I don't know if it's going to be much in here or not, though. It's a red one. Yeah, it didn't pollinate good. Once again, I'm going to blame that on dry weather, because this particular part here was pollinating during that drought.
Yeah. It's a pretty one.
I like the coloring of that one.
Ain't that cool?
Look at that kernel right there.
Whoa.
It's like half white and half red.
I see that.
But yeah, there's your update. I've actually got some really nice ears at the house that I picked off of what was replanted. I picked one, actually didn't, knocked one off the other day up here walking through it. And it's that long and as big around as that one we just picked. So I'm pretty excited when we actually get in here to pick it and see what's in there.
But anyways, guys, I guess that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope y'all really enjoyed the video, and hope you might have learned a little something. And anyways, till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.